You stand on a shimmering heat-hazed plain. The sun beats down with an relentless intensity, baking the very air around you. Above ground, life seems to shimmer and waver, seeking any available shade. But now feel the cool, gentle pull downwards. You are about to step into a hidden world, a realm carved not into the hillsides, but directly into the bedrock beneath your feet. This is where history takes a different turn, where communities have sought refuge, solace, and an entirely unique way of life, far from the harsh glare of the world above. Picture the soft glow of interior lights, the quiet hum of earth around you, as we delve into the deep, fascinating story of towns built completely underground. Prepare to explore a labyrinth of comfort and ingenuity. The comfort and ingenuity you are about to encounter did not simply appear. They are the culmination of centuries, even millennia, of human adaptation, a response to challenges so profound that only a retreat into the earth itself offered a solution. Imagine the ancient world, fraught with both natural extremes and human conflict. Above ground, the sun could scorch the land into a brittle desert, or winter winds could bite with an unforgiving cold. Water was scarce, shelter fleeting, and safety often a luxury denied by raiding parties or powerful empires. It was in these crucible moments that humanity first turned its gaze not to the heavens, but beneath its feet, seeking sanctuary within the very bedrock. Feel now the steady, unchanging temperature that immediately greets you as you descend. Unlike the wild fluctuations of the surface, here, the earth acts as a magnificent insulator, a natural thermostat maintaining a constant, comfortable warmth regardless of the season's rage above. Picture summer heat waves that buckle roads and shimmer mirages into existence. Underground, that relentless sun becomes a distant memory, replaced by a cool, clean air that breathes through tunnels and chambers. Conversely, when winter howls, coating the world in ice and snow, your subterranean dwelling remains a haven of temperate quiet. This consistent thermal stability is not merely a convenience. For many early communities, it was the very essence of survival, protecting them from exposure, crop failure, and the brutal whims of an uncontrolled climate. Listen closely. The world above buzzes with a cacophony of sound. Wind whips through trees, animals call, and the distant murmur of human activity drifts on the breeze. Here, however, a profound quiet embraces you. The thick layers of earth absorb and muffle, creating a stillness that is almost palpable, a profound hush that encourages introspection and calm. It is a quiet unlike any other, not an empty silence, but one pregnant with the gentle hum of the earth itself, a soft resonance that speaks of timeless stability. This deep tranquility was not just a side effect. It provided refuge from the noise of conflict, the roar of storms, and the constant anxieties of life exposed to the elements. For those seeking peace, this subterranean quiet offered an unparalleled sanctuary. Of course, this profound quiet comes with an absence. Look around you. Natural light, the lifeblood of the surface world, does not penetrate these depths. Instead, you are enveloped in a soft, curated glow. For ancient dwellers, this meant flickering oil lamps, the dancing shadows of firelight, or ingenious light shafts engineered to capture and funnel precious sunbeams deep below. Today, it might be the steady, warm glow of electric lights, carefully placed to illuminate the unique architecture and daily life of these communities. This controlled illumination creates an intimate, almost theatrical atmosphere, where every corner, every carving, every human face is highlighted with deliberate care. It fosters a different rhythm of life, one less tied to the sun's harsh command and more attuned to the internal clock of the community. These subterranean spaces are not merely holes in the ground. They are intricate, living archives, the hidden veins of human history pulsing with stories of resilience and ingenious adaptation. For thousands of years, across continents and cultures, people have instinctively understood the earth as both provider and protector. From prehistoric cave dwellings, offering rudimentary shelter, to the vast, multi-level cities carved meticulously into soft rock, The impulse to burrow has been a recurring theme in humanity's grand narrative. You are tracing a lineage that predates written history, following the paths of our ancestors who saw not an empty void beneath them, but an unyielding, protective embrace. Think of it not as a single type of dwelling, but as a spectrum of human ingenuity. Some underground towns began as simple extensions of mining operations. Miners, spending their days extracting precious minerals or essential resources, found it more practical, safer, and even more comfortable to simply expand their tunnels into homes, shops, and places of worship. The very act of carving out a living became the act of carving out a life. Others were born from a dire need for defense, entire populations disappearing beneath the earth during times of war, creating elaborate networks of tunnels and chambers designed to confuse invaders and provide a safe retreat until the danger passed. And still others were formed out of a desire for spiritual isolation, monastic communities finding profound peace and connection in the quiet solitude of the underground. What kind of community flourishes in such an environment? You might imagine a sense of profound interdependence. In a world carved from rock, every resource, every shared space, every breath of fresh air, is a testament to collective effort. Neighbors are not just next door. They are often literally connected by a shared wall of earth, or by tunnels that lead directly from one home to another. This close proximity, born of necessity, often fosters a unique solidarity, a strong communal bond where reliance on one another is not just a virtue, but a fundamental aspect of daily existence. Decisions about ventilation, waste, food storage, and defense become shared responsibilities, weaving the fabric of the community tightly together. You would find yourself part of a collective endeavor, each person contributing to the survival and flourishing of the whole. The labyrinth of comfort is not just about the physical structures, but also the intricate social systems developed to thrive in them. Ingenuity extends beyond the mere act of excavation. It encompasses the remarkable systems for airflow, for collecting and filtering water in a world where rainfall doesn't directly reach you, for managing waste, and for cultivating food in artificial light or accessing it from the surface. Imagine the careful planning required to ensure structural integrity, to prevent collapses, to manage drainage in an environment where gravity naturally pulls water downwards into your living spaces. These are not trivial challenges. They demanded generations of accumulated knowledge, trial and error, and a deep understanding of geology and engineering long before those terms even existed. As you walk through these subterranean streets, you are not just observing history, you are experiencing it, quite literally, from the inside out. You feel the cool rock against your hand, you breathe the air conditioned by the earth, you hear the muffled echoes of life lived beneath the surface. This is a history lesson unlike any other, one that engages all your senses, drawing you into the intimate reality of people who chose to live differently, who reimagined what home could truly be. It challenges your preconceived notions of what a town should look like, where it should be, and how it should function. These hidden veins of history run deep, connecting us to a forgotten past and revealing the incredible spectrum of human adaptability. They whisper stories of resilience, innovation, and an unwavering spirit in the face of adversity. Each tunnel, each chamber, each carved dwelling is a chapter in a continuous narrative, waiting for you to explore its depths. We are only just beginning to uncover the secrets held within these ancient, earthbound communities. Our journey will take us further, into specific examples where these principles of comfort and ingenuity were perfected, creating entire worlds beneath the surface. The secrets held within these ancient, earthbound communities are vast. Our journey now takes us deep into the heart of one such world, a place where the sun is not a life giver but a relentless adversary. You find yourself standing on a vast, sun-baked plain, the air shimmering with a heat that steals your breath. The sky above is an unyielding, brilliant blue, empty save for the relentless sun. Around you, the landscape appears deceptively barren, dotted with strange conical rock formations. This is Cappadocia in central Anatolia, a region in modern-day Turkey. For millennia, its unique geology has provided both challenge and opportunity. Volcanic eruptions long ago blanketed the area in soft tuff, a rock easily carved yet surprisingly stable. Imagine the earliest inhabitants, perhaps seeking refuge from invaders or the unforgiving climate. They looked not to the sky for shelter but to the ground beneath their feet. You walk towards a seemingly innocuous opening, a narrow doorway cut into the rock face. As you step inside, the oppressive heat outside immediately recedes. A cool, damp breath of earth greets you, a profound relief. The air inside is still, carrying the faint, earthy scent of ancient dust and stone. The light quickly fades, requiring your eyes to adjust to the gloom. The passageway slopes gently downwards, the walls smooth and cool to the touch, bearing the marks of tools wielded centuries ago. You are not just entering a cave, you are entering a world. This is Derinkuyu, one of dozens of vast underground cities in Cappadocia, but perhaps the deepest and most complex. It is a labyrinthine marvel, plunging 8 or more levels below the surface. As you continue your descent, the passage is narrow, sometimes forcing you to duck low. You can almost feel the presence of those who built and lived here, their lives dictated by the need for secrecy and survival. Think of the thousands who once called this subterranean realm home, huddling together against unseen threats, living out their entire lives by the flickering light of oil lamps. The genius of Derinkuyu lies in its sophisticated engineering. You pass carved-out spaces that served as stables, their floors still bearing faint depressions where animals once stood. Further on, you see communal kitchens, blackened by the soot of countless fires, their smoke drawn upwards through an ingenious network of ventilation shafts that extend all the way to the surface, disguised among the natural rock formations. These shafts not only provided air, but also served as a means of communication and a way to draw water from subterranean rivers and wells. You encounter massive circular stone doors, weighing hundreds of pounds, designed to be rolled into place from the inside. Feel the smooth, heavy stone, envisioning the panic and the swift, coordinated action of the inhabitants as they secured their sanctuary. These doors were equipped with a central hole, allowing defenders to deter attackers attempting to force their way in. As you explore deeper, you discover small, cramped living quarters, carved directly into the rock. Picture families huddled together, sleeping on simple pallets, sharing stories in hushed tones, the silence of the earth pressing in around them. There are churches, complete with cruciform layouts and baptistries, a testament to their spiritual life even in these confined conditions. You find storage rooms, shelves carved into the walls, designed to hold provisions for months, perhaps even years. An entire economy of survival meticulously planned and executed. The purpose of these incredible underground cities was primarily protection. They offered sanctuary from marauding armies and persistent invaders, who swept through Anatolia throughout history. Their hidden entrances and intricate layouts made them nearly impossible for outsiders to find and conquer. But defense was not the only driving force. The extreme climate, scorching summers and freezing winters, also played a significant role. Below ground, the temperature remains remarkably constant, offering a stable, comfortable environment regardless of the weather above. The earth itself acts as an insulator, a thermal blanket. Leaving the ancient world behind for a moment, let us journey to a different kind of underground town, born of different necessities. You travel now to the vast, red heart of Australia, to a place where the sun is not just relentless, but almost actively hostile. Here, on the surface, temperatures frequently soar past 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This is Coober Pedy, South Australia, often called the opal capital of the world. Unlike Derinkuyu, which was built for defense and climate, Coober Pedy began as a mining settlement. In 1915, a young boy named William Hutchison discovered opals here, sparking a rush that continues to this day. But the extreme heat and the constant threat of dust storms made living above ground almost unbearable. The solution once again was to go underground. Miners, already excavating the earth for precious stones, realized they could easily carve out homes for themselves in the sandstone. You arrive in Kuberpidi today, and the first thing you notice are the noodling piles, mounds of discarded rock and earth that dot the lunar-like landscape. Above ground, the town appears sparse, a collection of sun-bleached buildings and dusty roads. But the real town lies beneath your feet. As you approach a typical Kuberpidi home, known as a dugout, you notice a ventilation shaft poking out of the ground, a small chimney, and perhaps an air conditioner unit. But the entrance is often just a simple door cut into the side of a low hill. Step inside one of these modern dugouts. The immediate sensation is one of profound coolness and quiet. The external world, with its blinding light and oppressive heat, vanishes the moment you cross the threshold. The air is fresh, naturally filtered by the earth itself. The walls are smooth, often painted white, but you can still feel the solid rock encompassing you. These homes are surprisingly spacious, often featuring multiple bedrooms, living areas, fully equipped kitchens, and bathrooms. Because they are underground, there are no windows looking out, but light is brought in through clever designs, often incorporating skylights or light tunnels. Imagine waking up in such a room. The darkness is absolute, a deep, comforting blackness. There are no external sounds, no traffic, no wind howling, just the profound silence of the earth. You are truly insulated from the world above. Many dugouts even feature swimming pools, carved directly into the rock, offering a constant cool oasis. There are underground churches, underground shops, even an underground hotel. You can dine in a restaurant carved into the earth, the soft hum of conversation amplified by the enclosed space. The reasons for Kuberpidi's underground existence are purely practical and comfort-driven. The constant temperature of the earth, around 75 degrees Fahrenheit, provides a natural air conditioning system, dramatically reducing energy costs in a place where air conditioning would otherwise be running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It also offers protection from the harsh sun and the frequent dust storms that can whip up without warning, turning the landscape into a blinding, choking haze. From the ancient defensive cities of Turkey to the modern mining town of Australia, the ingenuity is clear. The earth, often seen as a barrier, becomes a protector, a provider of comfort and stability. These underground towns and cities, whether ancient or modern, reflect a deep human understanding of their environment. They are not merely holes in the ground. They are carefully engineered ecosystems, designed to support life in conditions that would otherwise be hostile. They teach us about resourcefulness, about living within limits, and about the extraordinary lengths people will go to create a safe, stable home. As you emerge from the depths, blinking in the harsh sunlight or the gentle evening glow, you carry with you the tangible memory of the cool, quiet earth. You have experienced a glimpse into a world that exists just beneath the surface, a world where the sun dares not tread, where human ingenuity blossomed in the dark. You understand now, not just intellectually but viscerally, why so many have chosen to disappear into the earth, building entire civilizations where few would think to look. This journey continues to reveal the incredible ways humanity has carved out existence, not just on but within our planet. Our journey into the planet's hidden places now pulls us towards its most unforgiving landscapes, the deserts. Imagine standing beneath a sky of relentless, unblinking blue, the sun a scorching hammer upon the earth. The air shimmers, distorting the horizon into a wavy mirage. Every breath feels like an inhalation of fine hot dust. The ground beneath your feet radiates heat, a searing reminder of the element's raw power. This is a world where survival is a daily negotiation, where water is more precious than gold, and where shelter defines the line between life and oblivion. Here, in these vast, sun-baked expanses, humanity has not merely survived but thrived by doing the seemingly impossible, retreating from the surface. You feel the intense, oppressive heat begin to seep into your skin, your clothes. Your eyes squint against the glare, searching for relief that simply does not exist above ground. It is precisely this overwhelming hostility that drives people not away but deeper, down into the cool, silent embrace of the earth itself. The desert, in its brutal honesty, forces an ingenious adaptation. Instead of fighting the sun, you escape it. Picture yourself now in the heart of Australia's red centre, a place synonymous with vast, empty spaces and extreme temperatures. We arrive in a town unlike any other, a place where the landscape above ground gives little hint of the bustling, vibrant world thriving just meters beneath your feet. This is Coober Pedy, South Australia, a name derived from the local Aboriginal phrase, Cooper Pedy, meaning white fella's hole. And holes, indeed, are what define this unique settlement. Coober Pedy is the opal capital of the world, a place born from the lure of precious gemstones. But it is the climate, not just the opals, that truly sculpted its identity. Summers here are brutal, with temperatures often soaring past 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Winter nights can plunge close to freezing. Living above ground means contending with an environment that demands constant, energy-intensive climate control. So, from the very beginning, the early opal miners discovered a simple, elegant solution. Live where you work. They burrowed into the soft sandstone hills, creating homes or dugouts that offered immediate, natural insulation. As you descend into a Coober Pedy dugout, the change is immediate and profound. The blast of dry, superheated air from the surface vanishes, replaced by a consistent, refreshing coolness. The air here holds a comfortable 55 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, without the need for air conditioning or heating. It is a stable, quiet haven. You notice the air is dry but not harsh, devoid of the dust and flies that plague the world above. The walls around you are not plastered or painted in the conventional sense. They are the raw, excavated sandstone, often a rich reddish-brown or ochre, sometimes streaked with pale yellows or whites. The texture is soft, slightly crumbly but surprisingly sturdy. The light, where it exists, comes from carefully positioned shafts, tunnels, or sometimes from an opening that serves as a front door, leading to a small, excavated patio. You run your hand along the cool, smooth rock, feeling the ancient stability of the earth. Imagine walking down an underground street. Not a street paved with asphalt, but a series of interconnected tunnels, or individual pathways leading to various dugouts. Each home is a unique creation, carved out by its inhabitants. Some are simple, one-room affairs, while others are sprawling residences with multiple bedrooms, a kitchen, a living area, and even a subterranean wine cellar. The ceilings are often vaulted, giving a sense of spaciousness, defying the expectation of a cramped cave. The ingenuity here extends far beyond just homes. Coober Pedy boasts underground shops, a bookstore, art galleries, even hotels where you can experience sleeping beneath the earth. There are underground churches, including a Serbian Orthodox church with carved frescoes and a replica of a Gothic cathedral, all hewn directly from the rock. Imagine attending a service, the quiet murmur of prayers echoing softly against sandstone walls, the only light from electric lamps or filtered sunbeams. It is an experience both sacred and surreal. Even the local golf course here has a unique twist. You play at night using glow-in-the-dark balls to avoid the intense daytime heat. But beyond the novelty, Coober Pedy represents a deep understanding of environmental adaptation. The Earth acts as a massive thermal battery, absorbing heat slowly during the day and releasing it even more slowly at night, creating a perfectly balanced microclimate underground. It is a sustainable, low-energy way of life, born out of necessity but embraced for its comfort and practicality. What does it feel like to live in such a place? The silence is often the first thing people notice. Above ground, the desert wind howls, the sun beats down, and the flies buzz. Below, there is a profound stillness, a muffling of the external world. You hear the gentle hum of your own thoughts, the soft rustle of your clothes. This quiet can be deeply comforting, almost meditative, especially after a long day of mining or working on the surface. The darkness too is different. It is not an oppressive, fearful darkness, but a gentle, enveloping absence of harsh light. Where artificial lights are used, they create warm, inviting pockets, making the space feel cozy and intimate. You might find yourself forgetting the scorching desert above, becoming fully immersed in the subterranean world. The earth here is not just a ceiling and walls. It is a protector, a provider of constant temperature, and a giant, silent companion. Building these dugouts is a skill passed down through generations. Miners use modified tunneling machines similar to those used in traditional mining to carve out their spaces. The waste material, known as mullock, is brought to the surface and piled into distinctive mounds, dotting the landscape above. These mullock heaps are a testament to the unseen activity below, a signature of the town's unique character. You see these white mounds rising against the red earth, like scattered snowdrifts, each one marking a hidden home or mine shaft. The desert's embrace in Coober Pedy is a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. It is a place where the landscape dictates the architecture, where adversity sparks innovation, and where a unique community thrives in conditions few would imagine possible. You walk through these underground passages, feeling the cool air against your skin, hearing the softened echoes of distant activity, and you realize that humanity's ability to create home is truly boundless. The desert has many faces. Beyond Coober Pedy, other cultures have also sought refuge beneath the arid lands. In Tunisia, the Matmata Berbers carved out troglodyte dwellings, not deep underground like Coober Pedy, but rather courtyards excavated from the earth, with rooms branching off the sides. These crater-like homes offer similar thermal advantages, protecting inhabitants from the fierce Saharan sun and the biting desert winds. You step into one of these sunken courtyards, the sudden drop in temperature a welcome relief, the circular walls providing a sense of enclosure and safety. In the American Southwest, ancient Pueblo peoples utilized natural caves and cliff overhangs, sometimes expanding them with adobe structures, creating entire villages shielded from the elements. While not completely underground, these provide a historical echo of the same principle, letting the earth itself be your shield. The earth, in its vastness, offers not only protection but also a unique aesthetic. The soft, rounded contours of excavated rooms, the natural colors of the rock, the way light plays in unexpected corners, all contribute to a sense of organic beauty. The deep embrace of the desert, then, is more than just a physical retreat. It is a philosophical choice, a decision to work with rather than against the natural world. It is a demonstration that even in the most hostile environments, comfort and community can flourish, often in the most unexpected places. You feel the cool, steady heartbeat of the planet around you, a silent promise of shelter and stability, even when the world above is a furnace. This subterranean existence is a profound lesson in living intimately with our planet, understanding its rhythms, and finding ingenious ways to harness its power for our own survival and well-being. It is a quiet testament to the enduring human spirit, a spirit that truly knows how to dig in. And sometimes this spirit digs for treasure, creating entire worlds beneath the surface where gems glow with an inner fire. You are now standing on the sun-baked, lunar-like landscape of Coober Pedy, a town unlike any other, carved into the ancient heart of South Australia. Above ground, the scene is deceptively desolate. Red dust swirls on a breath of wind, kicked up by the occasional vehicle. You see mounds of excavated earth, like miniature volcanoes, dotting the horizon. A few hardy bushes cling to life, their leaves coated in the pervasive ochre. The sun beats down with an unrelenting intensity, baking the very air you breathe into a shimmering mirage. This is the outback at its most extreme, a place where the temperature can soar well above 110 degrees Fahrenheit in summer, and plummet to near freezing at night. It is a land that seems to resist human habitation with every fiber of its being. Yet look closer. Amidst the barrenness, you begin to notice strange vents poking from the ground, or small, unassuming doorways built into the earth itself. These are not storage sheds or abandoned mine shafts in the traditional sense. These are homes. These are businesses. These are the portals to Kuberpidi, the opal capital of the world, a truly subterranean city. You approach one of these modest entrances, perhaps just a simple door set into a low, sloping hill of earth. As you push it open and step inside, the immediate change is startling. The intense heat of the surface instantly dissipates, replaced by a cool, steady calm. The air, once thick and shimmering, now feels clean and still, carrying a faint, earthy scent. You find yourself in a short corridor, perhaps dimly lit, the walls rough-hewn rock, cool to your touch. Your eyes adjust as you move further in, leaving the glare of the desert sun behind. This is a dugout, as these underground dwellings are known. It is not a dark, cramped cave as you might imagine. On the contrary, these are spacious, often surprisingly luxurious homes. You walk into a living room, the ceiling gently curved, sometimes 12 feet high, giving a profound sense of openness, despite being deep within the earth. There are no straight lines, no sharp corners here, unless they have been specifically carved. The rooms flow into one another with organic grace, reflecting the natural contours of the rock and the path of the excavator's powerful tunneling machine. The natural sandstone walls are a beautiful canvas, often left unpainted, showcasing the subtle stratifications of earth in shades of white, pink, and ochre. Sometimes a resident might choose to paint them, but even then the natural texture of the rock provides a unique character that wallpaper or plaster could never replicate. You might notice small, fossilized shells embedded in the walls, ancient relics from a time when this arid land was covered by an inland sea, a geological whisper of a past long gone. Light enters these subterranean homes through clever engineering. Vertical shafts, called air shafts or light shafts, extend from the surface directly down into the dugouts, providing ventilation and, crucially, natural light. Sunlight filters down, perhaps through a glass panel at ground level, creating a soft, diffused glow that moves throughout the day, marking the passage of time even deep underground. In rooms further from these shafts, electric lights illuminate the space, casting warm, inviting pools of light. As you explore deeper into the dugout, you might discover 3 or 4 bedrooms, a kitchen, a bathroom, even an office or a hobby room. Each space maintains that incredible constant temperature, typically around 75 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, without the need for air conditioning or heating. Imagine the relief of stepping into such a sanctuary after a long day under the scorching sun, or the comfort of a perpetually warm home during a frosty desert night. This is the prime advantage of living beneath the earth. Perfect climate control provided by nature itself. The silence here is profound. The thick layer of earth overhead acts as a natural soundproofing barrier, insulating the inhabitants from the wind, the noise of mining equipment, and the general clamor of surface life. You hear only the gentle hum of internal appliances, the soft creak of furniture, or perhaps the distant sound of your own heartbeat. It is a tranquility that promotes deep rest and quiet contemplation, a stark contrast to the often noisy, bustling world above ground. But Kuberpidi is more than just a collection of underground homes. It is a fully functioning town, an entire community that has adapted to life beneath the earth. You can visit underground churches, their altars carved directly from the rock, their services held in the gentle glow of electric light. There are underground art galleries showcasing local talent, often inspired by the unique landscape and the opals themselves. You can dine in underground restaurants, enjoy a drink at a subterranean bar, or even stay in an underground hotel, experiencing firsthand the unique charm of a dugout room as a visitor. The main street of Kuberpidi, the one you drove through to get here, is largely a facade. The real life of the town bustles beneath the surface. Imagine wandering through corridors that connect homes and businesses, a true network of subterranean streets, though these are largely private passages rather than public thoroughfares. The public spaces are few, mostly centered around the main surface road, but the private world below ground is vast and intricate. The very reason for this unique way of life lies just beneath your feet: opal. This precious gemstone, with its mesmerizing play of color, was discovered here in 1915. The early miners, eager to escape the brutal surface conditions while remaining close to their claims, quickly realized that the easiest and most sensible way to live was to dig into the earth itself. They already had the digging equipment. They already knew how to tunnel. It was a natural extension of their work. The process of creating a dugout often begins with a small entrance tunnel, then expanding into rooms using tunneling machines or even hand tools. Many miners, after a day of searching for precious opal, would simply extend their own homes, carving out an extra bedroom or a larger living space, literally expanding their living quarters with the same effort they used to seek their fortune. It creates a sense of profound connection to the earth, a direct relationship between one's labor and one's home. Life in Coober Pedy, both above and below, revolves around the search for opal. You see the signs of it everywhere. The thousands of shafts, some marked, some not, that riddle the landscape. The discarded spoil heaps, testament to millions of tons of earth moved in the pursuit of those shimmering stones. And within the dugouts you might find proudly displayed specimens of raw opal, or perhaps polished stones, sparkling on a mantelpiece, a constant reminder of the town's raison d'etre. The unique environment fosters a resilient and close-knit community. People here understand the challenges and rewards of their unique existence. There is a sense of shared experience, a quiet camaraderie forged in the dust and the dark. You might hear stories of incredible finds, of instant fortunes made, and of long, arduous years of searching with little reward. It is a town built on hope, perseverance, and the deep, silent comfort of the earth itself. Even the recreation here takes on an underground flavor. There is an underground church, an underground bookstore, and even an underground art gallery. For golfers, the Coober Pedy golf course is entirely without grass, a stark, sandy expanse on the surface, where players carry a small piece of astroturf to tee off from. But their clubhouse, of course, is a dugout, cool and welcoming after a round played under the relentless sun. As you spend more time here, you begin to appreciate the quiet genius of it all. The surface, with its extreme temperatures and stark beauty, becomes almost a distant memory when you are deep within the earth. You are sheltered, protected, embraced by the very ground that provides your livelihood. The silent streets of the surface, punctuated only by the occasional vehicle or the hum of a distant mining rig, belie the vibrant, though often invisible life that thrives beneath. This is not a settlement born of fear, but of practicality, innovation, and a profound understanding of the environment. It is a testament to human adaptability, to the ability to not just survive, but to truly flourish in conditions that would seem insurmountable to most. You feel a sense of peace here, a quiet understanding of how intimately connected life can be to the planet, how its vastness can be both a challenge and an incredible source of comfort and wealth. The earth, in Coober Pedy, is not just the ground beneath your feet. It is your roof, your walls, your climate control, and the very foundation of your existence. You feel its steady, cool presence all around you, a silent guardian in a land of extremes. This is an opal city, carved from the dreams of miners and shaped by the earth's embrace, a place where history is quite literally dug in. You stand on the ochre surface, the sun still beating down, but a subtle shift in the air beckons you inward. You have seen the entrances now, carved into the hillsides, some ornate, some simple openings. As you step across the threshold of one such dwelling, leaving the brilliant glare behind, an immediate calm descends. The world outside, with its heat and its light, begins to recede, replaced by a profound and enveloping stillness. The air here is different. It is consistently cool, a steady 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, regardless of the scorching 45-degree summer above or the chilly desert nights. You breathe it in, a clean, dry air, carrying a faint, earthy scent of sandstone and ancient rock. There is no need for air conditioning, no hum of a fan fighting against the heat. The Earth itself breathes for you, a natural climate control system perfected over millennia. Your eyes adjust slowly to the softened light. Many dugouts incorporate clever shafts or windows carved near the surface, allowing a gentle diffusion of natural light into the main living areas. But as you venture deeper, the light lessens, fading into a comfortable twilight. This is not a dark, claustrophobic space. Instead, it feels protective, a subterranean embrace. The walls around you are not plasterboard, but the very rock of the earth, often smoothed and painted, sometimes left in its raw, textured state, revealing the pickaxe marks of its creation. You reach out, touching the cool, firm surface, feeling the ancient geology beneath your fingertips. Each passage, each room feels like a deliberate carving, an extension of the earth itself rather than an addition to it. These are not merely houses, they are sculpted spaces, a testament to human ingenuity in adapting to extreme environments. Imagine the early miners, seeking refuge from the relentless sun and the biting dust storms. Their initial shelters were crude, quickly carved nooks, but over time these temporary havens evolved into sophisticated homes, entire communities built not upwards but inwards. You walk through a living area. The floors are often concrete, cool beneath your feet, sometimes adorned with rugs to soften the echoes. Furniture is arranged thoughtfully, often built into the very structure of the dugout, maximizing space and reflecting a practical aesthetic. There are no sudden drafts, no rattling windows. The silence here is profound, a deep, resonant quiet that absorbs sound rather than reflecting it. The distant rumble of a truck on the surface road or the faint laughter of children playing above is softened, almost entirely muted, creating an atmosphere conducive to deep thought and peaceful rest. This is where the true genius of these underground towns, like Kuberpd, reveals itself for those seeking a tranquil existence. It is not just about survival, it is about thriving in a unique rhythm, one dictated by the steady pulse of the earth. As you move further into the dwelling, perhaps towards a sleeping chamber, the light fades even more, inviting your senses to truly unwind. Consider the historical precedent for such subterranean living. While Kuberpd is a relatively modern example, the concept of building homes into the earth is as old as civilization itself. For thousands of years, humans have sought shelter in caves, then expanded them, and eventually learned to carve entirely new dwellings from rock. In places like Matera, Italy, or Cappadocia, Turkey, ancient troglodyte communities thrived for centuries, their homes literally carved into the soft tufa rock. They too understood the earth's natural insulation, its protection from invaders, and its profound silence. These historical precedents echo in the modern dugouts, linking you to a long lineage of earth dwellers. In a Kuberpd dugout bedroom, the absence of external stimuli is perhaps the most striking feature. There are no streetlights to filter through a window, no distant sirens to pierce the night. The darkness, when you choose it, is absolute, a velvety blackness that allows your circadian rhythms to rebalance naturally. You lie down on a bed within this earthen chamber, feeling the subtle coolness emanating from the walls. The air is still but fresh. There is no sound of wind rattling against a roof, no rain drumming on a window pane. Just a deep, consistent quiet. This natural environment promotes a quality of sleep that many in the noisy, overstimulated modern world can only dream of. Imagine drifting off to sleep without the intrusion of external noise, without the temperature fluctuations that plague conventional homes. Your body feels held, cocooned by the earth itself. It is a primal comfort, a return to a state of peace that feels instinctively right. Waking here is also a unique experience. Without the abrupt intrusion of daylight, the transition from sleep to wakefulness is gradual, gentle. You might choose to open a small internal door to a slightly brighter area, or simply allow your body to awaken at its own pace in the soft, ambient light. There is no rush, no jarring interruption. The sense of being deeply connected to the planet, of being literally inside its protective embrace, fosters a deep sense of security and well-being. The ingenuity extends beyond the private dwellings. Imagine public spaces underground too. Churches, shops, even art galleries and hotels, all carved out of the rock. You might find yourself wandering through a subterranean art gallery, the cool, earthy walls providing a unique backdrop for paintings and sculptures. The acoustics in these spaces are often remarkable, creating an intimate setting for contemplation or quiet conversation. Even a game of billiards in an underground pub takes on a different atmosphere, the clack of the balls softened, the murmur of voices contained, creating a cozy, almost conspiratorial intimacy. These communities are not just holes in the ground, they are vibrant, self-sustaining ecosystems. Electricity, plumbing, and communication lines are all routed through these subterranean networks, providing all the modern conveniences while maintaining the unique environmental benefits. Water is trucked in, a precious commodity, reminding residents of their desert home and encouraging thoughtful conservation. Every aspect of life here is a careful negotiation with the environment, a testament to living in harmony with the land, rather than imposing upon it. The residents, often called diggers, share a unique bond. They are pioneers, in a sense, carving out their lives in a world few others truly understand. They appreciate the quiet, the cool, the profound sense of stability that comes with living beneath the surface. They know the subtle shifts in the rock, the unique properties of their homes. They understand the language of the earth. As you consider this labyrinth of long slumbers, you begin to appreciate the layers of history embedded in its very walls. Every stroke of a pickaxe, every carved archway, tells a story of human endeavor, of a desire for comfort and refuge. It is a slow, quiet history, unfolding not on battlefields or in grand palaces, but in the intimate spaces where people live, sleep, and dream. The earth, in its vast, silent generosity, provides not just wealth in the form of precious opals, but also sanctuary. It offers a unique form of luxury, the luxury of consistent comfort, profound quiet, and undisturbed sleep. You feel the deep stillness settling into your own bones, a resonance with the ancient rock that surrounds you. This underground world, often perceived as an oddity, reveals itself as a deeply sensible and profoundly restful way of life, an enduring testament to human adaptability and the quiet wisdom of seeking comfort within the planet's embrace. It is a place where the boundaries between home and earth truly blur, where the world above is a distant echo, and the world below is a deep, comforting hum, inviting you into its timeless, serene depths for a truly long and peaceful slumber. That invitation now beckons with a tangible presence. You stand before a doorway, not unlike any other in its domestic function, yet utterly unique in its setting. It is carved directly into the rock face, sometimes humble, sometimes grandly embellished, a portal to a world distinct from the one you just left. You reach out, your fingers brushing against the cool, ancient stone that forms its frame. There is no knock needed here, for the very air ahead of you hints at a profound shift. You push the door inward, and immediately the oppressive heat of the sun-baked landscape recedes. A wave of cool, stable air washes over you, a gentle caress after the harsh glare above. The sounds of the surface world, the distant drone of a vehicle, the rustle of dry brush in the wind, all seem to melt away, absorbed by the earth itself. You step over the threshold and the transition is complete. You are inside a dugout home, a dwelling carved not just into the earth, but from it. The immediate sensation is one of profound quiet. It is a stillness so deep it feels almost heavy, yet utterly peaceful. Your ears adjust, and you begin to perceive the subtle nuances of this underground silence. Perhaps the distant drip of water somewhere deep in the rock, or the soft, consistent hum of an air conditioner, working tirelessly to circulate the earth's natural chill. But mostly, it is silence, an antidote to the clamor of the modern world, a quiet that invites deep contemplation and, most importantly, deep rest. As your eyes adapt to the softer light, you begin to take in your surroundings. The walls are not painted plasterboard but living rock, often left in its natural state. You see the subtle striations of minerals, the faint sparkle of quartz, the rich ochre and sienna tones that tell a geological story millions of years in the making. Some walls might be smoothed and rendered, offering a conventional surface, but many homeowners embrace the raw, organic beauty of their dwelling. The ceiling often arches gently, mirroring the natural contours of the rock, lending a cave-like grandeur to the space. It feels primal yet profoundly comforting. You walk further into the main living area. It might be a surprisingly spacious room, often irregular in shape, dictated by the ease with which the rock yielded to the miner's tools. The furniture, thoughtfully chosen, brings warmth and softness to the unyielding stone. Cushioned sofas invite you to sink in, blankets draped over their backs. Rugs, thick and plush, cover the cool stone floors, absorbing sound and adding texture. Here, beneath the earth, the comforts of home are amplified, valued for their stark contrast with the external environment. Imagine yourself settling onto a sofa, the coolness of the air a constant, gentle presence against your skin. The air itself feels pure, filtered by the earth, free from dust and allergens that plague the surface. There is a consistent temperature, an unwavering 20 to 23 degrees Celsius, day and night, summer and winter. This stable climate is not merely convenient, it is the very essence of the dugout's appeal, a natural air conditioning system that has kept inhabitants comfortable for generations. No searing summer heat to disrupt your sleep, no biting winter chill to penetrate your walls. Just a perfect, consistent calm. Turning your attention to the bedrooms, you find them often set deeper within the dugout, further removed from any external light or sound. The beds are places of profound sanctuary. You can imagine the heavy curtains drawn, plunging the room into absolute, velvety darkness, an ideal environment for undisturbed slumber. The silence here is even more pronounced, a gentle pressure that seems to cushion your thoughts, allowing them to drift away into a realm of peace. This is where the earth truly offers its gift, a cradle of quiet, a haven for the weary. The ingenuity of these underground dwellings extends to every facet of life. Kitchens are fully equipped, with modern appliances integrated seamlessly into the rock architecture. Bathrooms too are carved out, plumbed and tiled, demonstrating that living underground does not mean foregoing any modern convenience. Hot water is abundant, and the consistent temperature means a shower or bath is always a pleasant experience, free from drafts. The practicalities are addressed with a blend of innovation and common sense, transforming a raw cave into a sophisticated, comfortable home. What about light? You might wonder. Many dugouts incorporate clever solutions for natural illumination. Vertical shafts or whirlybirds on the surface funnel daylight down into central living areas, creating soft, diffused light that changes subtly with the time of day, yet without the harshness of direct sun. Other homes might rely more on strategically placed electric lighting, carefully designed to banish shadows and create a warm, inviting glow. The absence of direct sunlight means colors appear richer, shadows are softer, and the overall atmosphere is one of gentle, perpetual twilight, a soft dusk, that cradles the home in calm. This unique quality of light contributes significantly to the restful ambience. The air circulation is another marvel. Vents and shafts, often carved directly into the rock or fitted with clever mechanical systems, ensure a constant flow of fresh air, preventing any feeling of stuffiness or claustrophobia. You never feel trapped or isolated. Instead, you feel protected, embraced by the earth. The air feels clean, slightly cool, and endlessly refreshing. It is a testament to the foresight and engineering prowess of the early opal miners and those who followed that these vital elements of comfortable living were so effectively integrated into their subterranean world. Beyond the physical comfort, there is a profound psychological benefit to living within the earth. You feel safe, secure, insulated from the cares and anxieties of the world above. The thick rock walls offer protection from extreme weather, from the prying eyes of strangers, and even from the anxieties of the news cycle. There is a sense of timelessness here. Without external windows revealing the passage of day into night, the rhythm of life slows, aligning more with the body's natural need for rest and rejuvenation. The dwellings of dusk, as these homes are aptly named, invite you to shed the anxieties of the day, to release the tensions that accumulate in the rush of life above ground. They offer a silent promise of deep, uninterrupted rest. You can imagine spending your evenings here, the gentle light casting long, soft shadows across the stone walls, the only sounds being the quiet movements within your own home. The earth becomes more than just a shelter. It becomes a confidant, a silent guardian of your peace. It is a space where the concept of home takes on a deeper, more primal meaning, offering a sense of rootedness and belonging unlike any other. This is where the very act of existing becomes an act of deep relaxation, where every breath feels calmer, every thought quieter, and every moment stretches out into a timeless, serene embrace. You are not just beneath the surface, you are enveloped by it. The earth around you is not inert rock, but a living, breathing entity, its very presence shaping your experience in profound ways. Imagine stepping further into one of these subterranean homes. The first sensation is often a subtle shift in the air itself. Above ground, the air can be harsh, carrying the bite of winter or the oppressive weight of summer humidity. Here below, the air is different. It is consistently mild, a gentle breath against your skin, a testament to the earth's natural regulation. You feel the coolness that embraces you during the oppressive heat of a desert summer, a sanctuary from the relentless sun. In winter, this same earth offers a steady, unwavering warmth, shielding you from the bitter winds and freezing temperatures above. The earth acts as a colossal, silent thermostat, maintaining an almost perfect comfort without the hum of machinery or the consumption of precious energy. It is a slow, deep breath drawn by the planet itself, a testament to its ancient rhythms and its profound capacity to nurture life. The air here feels clean, filtered by layers of soil and rock. There is often a faint, almost imperceptible scent of damp earth or mineral dust, a clean, grounding aroma that speaks of stability and permanence. It is not the stale, recirculated air of modern enclosed spaces, but something alive and fresh, subtly renewed by natural ventilation currents that might trace unseen pathways through the earth itself. You breathe deeper here, your lungs filling with air that feels pure, unburdened by the pollutants and allergens that swirl in the world above. This quality of air, undisturbed by gusts or sudden changes, contributes directly to a feeling of deep calm, inviting your respiratory system to relax into a natural, unhurried rhythm. Now, turn your attention to the walls that surround you. These are not merely structural elements, they are the very skin of your home and they hold secrets. These are the whispering walls. The first whisper you notice is the sound, or rather, the profound lack of it. The cacophony of the world above ground, the distant rumble of traffic, the blare of sirens, the chatter of crowds, the incessant hum of daily life, all of it is softened, muted, absorbed into the deep embrace of the earth. You might hear a faint, distant echo of a sound from the surface, a sound so far removed it becomes almost dreamlike, an echo from another world. But within these subterranean rooms, a different kind of soundscape emerges. It is a world of quiet, a silence so deep, so complete, it is almost a presence in itself. This is not an oppressive silence, but a comforting one, a vast canvas upon which your own internal world can unfold without interruption. It is the kind of silence that allows for true introspection, for thoughts to form without jostling against external noise. In this deep quiet, you begin to hear the subtle sounds of your own being. The gentle beat of your heart, the soft rustle of your clothes, the quiet intake and release of your breath. These are sounds often drowned out in the surface world, but here they become clear, intimate companions. The walls, thick and solid, absorb vibrations, creating an acoustic environment unlike any other. Conversations held here feel private, intimate, their words cradled and contained rather than echoing harshly. Each word feels weighted with a greater significance, spoken into a receptive quiet. It fosters a sense of trust and closeness, reinforcing the idea of the home as a truly personal sanctuary. Yet the walls also have their own whispers. Sometimes, if you listen very closely, you might hear the almost imperceptible drip of water far off in a subterranean channel, a steady rhythmic cadence that speaks of the Earth's timeless hydrological cycle. Or perhaps the softest creak of settling earth, a gentle shifting that reminds you of the immense, powerful forces that shape our planet, happening far below your feet. These are not sounds of danger but of deep, geological life, a lullaby from the planet itself. They are reminders of the constant, slow motion of the world, providing a peculiar comfort in their consistency. Run your hand along the wall. You feel the coolness of the stone, perhaps the rough, irregular texture of carved rock, or the smoother, packed earth that forms the interior surfaces. Each wall has a story, etched by time and by the hands that shaped it. These are not painted plaster or artificial coverings. These are the raw, honest materials of the earth itself, providing a tactile connection to the planet. You can sense the immense weight above you not as a burden, but as a protective blanket, a comforting embrace that shields you from all that lies beyond. The whispering walls speak of stability, of permanence, of a refuge that has endured for centuries, perhaps millennia. They tell you that you are safe here, protected from the storms that rage above, from the heat and the cold, from the clamor and the chaos. You are cocooned, sheltered in a place where time seems to slow, where the urgent demands of the surface world lose their grip. There is an unspoken promise in these walls, a promise of unwavering security, of a haven untouched by the fleeting anxieties of the sunlit world. This is a space where your senses are recalibrated. Your eyes, accustomed to the vast horizons of the world above, now learn to appreciate the subtle interplay of light and shadow on the textured surfaces. The artificial glare of electric lights becomes a gentle glow, carefully placed to highlight the natural beauty of the rock, to create pockets of warmth and intimacy. You notice the way a single lamp can transform an entire chamber, turning shadows into works of art, revealing the intricate patterns and colors hidden within the stone. Natural light, where it is guided through cleverly designed shafts, enters as a soft, diffused illumination, painting the interiors with a muted, calming palette, always changing with the slow journey of the sun above, but never harsh or overwhelming. The air, the silence, the touch of the walls, all conspire to create a profound sense of groundedness. You feel connected to something ancient, something fundamental. It is as if the earth itself breathes with you, its vast, slow pulse syncing with your own. The walls do not just enclose you, they hold you. They absorb your anxieties, muffling the external world's demands, allowing you to settle into a state of profound peace. This deep connection to the earth beneath your feet offers a unique kind of psychological ballast, anchoring you in the present moment, far from the distractions and pressures of modern life. You might find your sleep here to be deeper, more restorative than anywhere else. The absence of external light pollution, the constant mild temperature, and the profound quiet create an optimal environment for true rest. Your body and mind can truly unwind, free from the constant stimulation that often disrupts our sleep cycles in the world above. Here, beneath the mantle of the earth, your dreams become clearer, your waking moments more refreshed, as if the very planet is helping you reset and rejuvenate. This is not merely a house. It is a profound relationship with the very substance of the world. It is a home that understands silence, that values stillness, and that offers a unique path to rest and profound rejuvenation, far from the surface world's ceaseless demands. It is a living testament to humanity's ingenuity and our enduring desire for peace, security, and a deep connection to the natural world, even when that connection means dwelling within its very heart. In these underground towns, you discover that the earth is not just a foundation, It is a partner, a protector, and a timeless source of tranquility. You are part of its silent, slow breathing, a secret world whispered into being by enduring walls. The enduring walls are more than mere structures. They are the membranes of a living, breathing environment. As you settle into this unique existence, you begin to discern the subtle symphony of subterranean life, a distinct counterpoint to the boisterous, ever-changing soundtrack of the world above. It is not the silence of an empty tomb, but the profound quiet of a world purposefully hushed, a stage where every sound carries a different weight, a new significance. You quickly discover that your senses, once overwhelmed by the surface world's constant demands, are now recalibrating, tuning themselves to the nuanced frequencies of this hidden realm. Imagine this: the absence of wind. That ubiquitous, often unnoticed companion of surface life, constantly rustling leaves, rattling windows, carrying distant voices or the roar of traffic. Here, deep beneath the ground, that constant atmospheric pressure is gone. The air is still, perhaps circulating gently through carefully designed ventilation shafts, but never biting, never wild. You notice its purity, filtered and managed, often carrying a faint, earthy scent, a clean mineral tang that speaks of its deep origins. This is air undisturbed by industrial emissions or pollen, a perpetual spring morning contained within the rock, an invisible river flowing through your carefully carved home. You breathe deeply, feeling an unexpected lightness, a cleansing sensation that seems to settle not just in your lungs, but in your very mind. Your ears, no longer assaulted by the clamor of a city street or the persistent drone of airplanes overhead, begin to recalibrate. The profound silence is not a void. It is a canvas upon which the gentle brushstrokes of your new world are painted. You might hear the distant rhythmic hum of a ventilation system, a steady, almost soothing background thrum that assures you of the air's constant renewal. Perhaps the soft, muffled footsteps of a neighbor passing down a subterranean corridor become a notable event, distinct against the general quiet. The soft murmur of a conversation from a communal lounge, usually lost in the cacophony above, now drifts with surprising clarity, yet still holds a gentle, non-intrusive quality. You notice the way sound seems to travel differently here, absorbed by the dense rock, preventing echoes and creating a wonderfully intimate acoustic space. It is a world where soft voices carry, but harsh sounds are swiftly muted, leaving you with a sense of calm and privacy. This auditory landscape encourages a different kind of communication, a quieter, more considered interaction, almost as if the environment itself is prompting a more mindful way of being. Light, too, undergoes a profound transformation. Gone are the unpredictable fluctuations of daylight, the harsh glare of noon, the encroaching shadows of dusk. Here, light is a deliberate creation, a carefully modulated presence. You awaken not to the harsh intrusion of morning sun, but to the gentle, programmed brightening of your living space. Soft, indirect lighting mimics the warmth of a sunrise, gradually intensifying to a comfortable glow. In communal areas, clever designs incorporate light panels that simulate the expansive feel of the sky, sometimes even displaying images of clouds or stars, a subtle nod to the world above. You find a surprising liberation in this control, able to tailor your environment to your mood, fostering a sense of perpetual twilight, or perhaps an eternal, gentle dawn. The absence of natural windows means your perception of time shifts, becoming less dependent on external cues, more attuned to your body's intrinsic rhythm. Your sleep deepens, uninterrupted by the unpredictable shifts of light that often disrupt rest on the surface. The very temperature of your surroundings is a testament to the Earth's embrace. Deep underground, the temperature remains remarkably stable, insulated from the scorching summers and freezing winters that plague the surface. You experience a consistent, comfortable warmth, a gentle equilibrium that requires minimal energy to maintain. The raw rock walls, sometimes left exposed, offer a cool, solid presence to the touch, a constant reminder of the geological mass surrounding you. There is no draft, no sudden chill, no oppressive heat. This unwavering environmental stability fosters a deep sense of physical comfort, reducing the constant adjustments your body would otherwise make. You feel grounded, quite literally, your physical self in harmony with the unchanging ancient heart of the planet. As you explore, you come to appreciate the architecture of this subterranean world. It is a masterpiece of engineering and human ingenuity. Wide, smoothly excavated tunnels lead to various districts, their walls often artfully textured or adorned with murals that depict scenes of the natural world, or abstract patterns that play with the perception of depth and space. Cavernous central areas might serve as town squares, bustling with activity, yet never feeling crowded due to their immense scale. Here, shops and cafes thrive, their light spilling onto pedestrian thoroughfares. You might find a library, its shelves filled with books, the quiet broken only by the rustle of turning pages. A communal garden, bathed in full-spectrum grow lights, offers a burst of vibrant green, its plants a living testament to the determination to bring the outside in. The air here carries the faint, fresh scent of soil and growing things, a delightful counterpoint to the more mineral tones elsewhere. Daily life unfolds with a rhythm that is both familiar and uniquely adapted. Children attend school in spacious classrooms, their laughter echoing softly against the solid rock. Families gather for meals, neighbors chat in the corridors, and community events fill the calendars. There is a strong sense of interdependence here, a quiet understanding that everyone contributes to the harmonious functioning of this enclosed world. Tasks like waste management, water purification, and power generation are meticulously handled, often in dedicated, unseen chambers, their subtle operations contributing to the overall hum of the town. These are not merely practical necessities. They are the lifelines that enable this extraordinary way of living, meticulously maintained by a dedicated population. You learn to trust these systems implicitly, knowing that the robust infrastructure supports your every moment. This shared experience fosters a unique brand of community. People often feel a deeper connection to their neighbors, a stronger sense of collective purpose. Perhaps it is the shared understanding of living in a world apart, or the deliberate design of spaces that encourage interaction. You might find yourself engaging in conversations that delve deeper, unburdened by the superficial distractions of the surface. There is a quiet pride in this accomplishment, a collective spirit that permeates the very air you breathe. Any potential feelings of claustrophobia are ingeniously addressed through thoughtful design. Soaring ceilings in public spaces, expansive plazas, and carefully placed visual art that creates a sense of openness and perspective. Some homes even feature artificial skylights that project dynamic sky scenes, complete with moving clouds or twinkling stars, further blurring the lines between above and below. The quiet hum of subterranean life, then, is more than just a literal sound. It is the composite sensory experience of this unique existence. It is the steady thrum of the life support systems, diligently working in the background. It is the muffled murmur of human activity, harmonized by the acoustics of the rock. It is the constant, comfortable temperature, the clean, circulating air, the controlled, gentle light. It is the subtle vibration felt in the soles of your feet when a distant tram passes, or the gentle, almost imperceptible tremor of the earth itself, reminding you of the colossal, benevolent mass that cradles your home. This hum is the sound of safety, of stability, of an ingenious solution to the challenges of the surface world. It is the pulse of a self-sustaining ecosystem, a human endeavor thriving in harmony with the planet's deep, timeless rhythms. You are not merely sheltered by the earth. You are integrated into its living fabric, part of its silent, powerful, and ever-present song. You have felt the pulse of the earth. Now feel the heartbeat of its people. Within these subterranean cities, a unique social tapestry is woven, one shaped by the very walls that enclose it. Life below the surface is not merely about survival or escape. It is about an intentional forging of connection, a deepening of community that can often elude those on the sprawling, noisy surface. Here, proximity becomes a catalyst for profound interaction. You find yourself living not just near your neighbors but truly with them, sharing the very air, the very light, the very consistent temperature of your shared world. Imagine walking down a main thoroughfare. It is not a street exposed to the elements, but a vibrant tunnel, perhaps carved from sandstone or reinforced with steel. The shops are not open to the sky, but integrated into the rock face, their entrances beckoning you into a world of goods and greetings. You hear the chatter of voices, the laughter of children echoing with a distinct quality that only enclosed spaces can offer. There is a familiarity here, a recognition in the faces you pass. Everyone knows everyone, or at least knows of them. The sheer effort and shared vision required to build and maintain such a city fosters an inherent sense of interdependence. You are all literally in this together, beneath the same vast blanket of rock. This shared endeavor cultivates a powerful sense of collective identity. The surface world, with its sometimes harsh realities, its unpredictable weather, its endless expanse, is a distant memory or a story told to newcomers. Here, your world is defined by the immediate, by the accessible, by the human scale. Your community functions like an intricate, well-oiled machine, each part vital to the whole. If a problem arises, it is a communal problem. If a celebration is planned, it is a communal joy. You are not an anonymous face in a crowd. You are an essential thread in the tightly knit fabric of your underground home. Consider the daily rhythms. The concept of going outside takes on an entirely new meaning. For many, it might be a rare trip to the surface observation deck, a controlled experience designed to reconnect with the sun and sky. But for most, daily life unfolds entirely within these constructed caverns. This means schools, medical centers, entertainment venues, parks, and even churches are all integrated into the same vast complex. You attend classes in a chamber carved into ancient stone, or receive care in a facility built into a former mining shaft. Your children play in parks where the sky is an artificially lit cavern ceiling, and their laughter bounces off engineered acoustics, creating an atmosphere of perpetual twilight or gentle dawn, depending on the programming. The absence of natural daylight, while initially a significant adjustment, becomes a defining characteristic that shapes cultural practices. Artificial lighting becomes an art form, carefully orchestrated to mimic the sun's cycles, or to create moods that transcend mere illumination. You might experience a simulated sunrise that bathes your living space in warm oranges and pinks, or a cool blue light that signifies the quiet hours. These engineered cycles become the new temporal markers, guiding your days and nights, your work and your rest. They are a constant, gentle reminder of the ingenuity that underpins your existence. This unique environment also fosters an incredible resourcefulness. Waste is minimized, water is recycled with meticulous care, and every kilowatt of energy is valued. You learn to live efficiently, sustainably, not just because it is an ethical choice, but because it is an existential necessity. This shared ethos permeates every aspect of life, from how food is grown in hydroponic farms deep underground, to how public spaces are maintained. You witness the collective pride in these systems, the quiet satisfaction in knowing that your community is a model of self-sufficiency. Social gatherings take on an added layer of intimacy. Without the sprawling distractions of the surface, attention is focused inward, on human connection. Storytelling, music, and performance thrive. You gather in communal halls, perhaps vast, naturally formed caverns or purpose-built auditoriums, where the acoustics lend a unique depth to every note and word. The narratives you share are often deeply personal, recounting the history of your underground settlement, the challenges overcome, the triumphs celebrated. These stories are not just entertainment, they are the threads that bind generations, reinforcing the collective memory and identity of your people. Children born and raised in these communities develop a profound attachment to their subterranean world. For them, the surface is an abstract concept, perhaps glimpsed through observation ports or learned about in history lessons. Their playgrounds are tunnels, their adventures involve exploring new sections of the city, and their understanding of nature is filtered through controlled environments and advanced simulations. You see them playing games that integrate the unique architecture of their homes, racing down long corridors, or hiding in cleverly designed alcoves. They are part of a lineage, a continuing experiment in human adaptation, and they carry the torch of this unique way of life with an innate understanding. The challenges of living underground are real, but they are met with a spirit of collective resilience. Issues of air quality, structural integrity, or resource management are not individual burdens, but shared responsibilities. Regular maintenance checks, community drills, and educational programs are commonplace, ensuring that every resident understands their role in safeguarding their home. You participate in these efforts, feeling the tangible sense of contribution, the satisfaction of being part of a well-functioning, vigilant society. This constant vigilance, far from being a source of anxiety, reinforces the bonds, reminding everyone that their well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of their neighbors. Moreover, the sense of security here is unparalleled. The thick rock above you acts as a shield, protecting against extreme weather, cosmic radiation, and whatever other unpredictable forces the surface might unleash. This deep-seated feeling of safety allows a different kind of freedom to flourish, a freedom from constant external threat. You can walk the illuminated tunnels at any hour, knowing that your world is contained, predictable, and protected. This fosters a relaxed atmosphere, a quiet confidence that permeates daily interactions. People are often more open, more trusting, perhaps because the very walls enforce a certain level of transparency and shared fate. Even the unique acoustics of these underground spaces contribute to the community's character. Sound travels differently here, often with a subtle echo or a gentle dampening. Public announcements resonate with a distinct clarity, while private conversations feel more intimate, contained. Music played in a central plaza fills the space with a rich, enveloping quality. You become attuned to these subtle sonic cues, learning to interpret the mood of your city through the sounds that ripple through its tunnels and chambers. The collective murmur of human activity becomes a comforting soundtrack, a constant reminder that you are part of a thriving, living whole. The very architecture reflects this communal spirit. Public spaces are often grander, more central, designed for gathering and interaction. Living quarters, while efficient, are connected by inviting pathways, encouraging serendipitous encounters. You might find community gardens where residents tend to small plots of herbs or vegetables under grow lights, sharing tips and harvests. Or central libraries, where the quiet hum of air circulation blends with the turning pages, offering a sanctuary of shared knowledge. These are not merely functional spaces, they are arteries of connection, places where the community's heart beats strongest. This deep integration into a specific, bounded environment creates a powerful local identity. You are not just a citizen of a country, you are a resident of this underground city. Your history is etched into its walls, your future is built within its foundations. The sense of belonging is palpable, a quiet pride in what has been achieved, in the extraordinary world you inhabit. You become a part of its story, an inheritor of its legacy, and a contributor to its ongoing narrative. And as you live your life within these deep roots, you come to understand that the communities formed here are indeed deeper. They are not shallow connections of convenience, but bonds forged in shared purpose, shared challenge, and shared triumph. They are a testament to human resilience, ingenuity, and the enduring need for connection, even in the most unconventional of homes. Your life here is not just an existence. It is a profound participation in a truly unique human experiment, a testament to the power of collective will, beneath the unwavering gaze of the earth itself. You stand at the threshold of history here, a living, breathing part of a legacy carved from the earth itself. The collective will that built these subterranean realms did not just create dwellings. It forged time capsules, preserving whispers of lives lived long ago, imprinted directly onto the very stone that surrounds you. As you move deeper into the older sections of these underground towns, perhaps venturing beyond the brightly lit, more modern avenues, you feel a subtle shift in the atmosphere. The air grows cooler, carrying with it a faint, earthy scent, a blend of minerals and the quiet breath of the deep earth. The sounds, too, begin to change. The distant hum of ventilation systems or the muted echoes of contemporary life fade, replaced by a profound silence that speaks volumes. It is not an empty silence, but one pregnant with unseen histories, a silence that invites introspection. Your footsteps become softer, almost reverent, as you pass through corridors where the chisel marks on the walls are not merely functional, but tell a story of human hands, generations removed from your own. You reach out, your fingers tracing the rough texture, feeling the slight indentations where a craftsman paused, perhaps contemplating the next stroke, perhaps resting his weary arm. These are not just walls, they are the pages of an unwritten chronicle. Look closely. You might see the faint, almost imperceptible smudge of a handprint, left accidentally by someone who leaned against the damp rock centuries ago. Or a small, curious carving, a simple geometric pattern, a crude animal figure, etched into a quiet corner by a child, perhaps during a long wait. These are the forgotten echoes, the tiny human-scale details that bypass the grand narratives and speak directly to the individual experience of living here, deep beneath the world. Imagine the lives that unfolded in these very spaces. Picture families gathered around a flickering oil lamp, the shadows dancing on these same stone surfaces. Hear the murmur of conversations, the soft lullabies sung to sleeping infants, the robust laughter of communal feasts. Though the sounds themselves have long since dissipated into the stone, leaving no audible trace, your imagination fills the void, sparked by these subtle visual cues. The cold rock becomes a canvas for memory, a silent witness to countless joys and sorrows. You might stumble upon a disused chamber, its entrance partially obscured by a recent rockfall or carefully sealed off in a bygone era. Peering into its depths, perhaps with the aid of a powerful beam of light, you might glimpse rudimentary shelves carved into the rock, or a circular indentation on the floor that once held a large storage jar. These are not relics displayed in a museum, they are integral parts of the living, breathing history of this place, waiting patiently for discovery, for recognition. They are clues, left behind like breadcrumbs, guiding you through the labyrinth of time. The enduring nature of these underground environments is what makes these echoes so powerful. Unlike structures built above ground, exposed to the relentless assault of wind, rain, and sun, these subterranean towns offer an almost perfect preservation chamber. Temperature fluctuations are minimal. Humidity is stable. The air, though sometimes dust-laden, protects rather than degrades. Wood might rot, cloth might disintegrate, but the stone, the fundamental medium of their existence, holds its form, keeping its secrets close. The very fabric of their homes becomes their most enduring monument. Consider the sheer effort involved in shaping these spaces. Every tunnel dug, every room excavated, every pillar left standing for support represents an immense expenditure of human energy, ingenuity, and collective will. There were no heavy machines in the ancient past. Every cubic foot of earth and rock was removed by hand, with simple tools of bronze or iron, sometimes just stone. You can almost feel the rhythmic chip-chip-chip of the pickaxe, the scraping of the shovel, the grunt of effort as baskets of debris were hauled away. These are the ghosts of labor, embedded in the very texture of the walls. As you explore, you develop a keen eye for these subtle details. A slightly smoother patch on a floor might indicate where countless feet wore down the rough stone over generations. A darkened area on a ceiling could be the soot stain from a long-extinguished hearth, its warmth now a distant memory, its smoke long since cleared. A niche carved into a wall, just the right size for a small lamp, reminds you of the constant need for light in this eternal twilight. Each discovery is a tiny portal to the past, a direct line to the daily routines and pragmatic needs of those who came before. These forgotten echoes are not always dramatic or monumental. They are often quiet, unassuming, demanding a certain patience and attentiveness to be noticed. But it is in their very subtlety that their power lies. They remind you that history is not just about kings and battles, but about the ordinary lives of ordinary people, adapting, enduring, and thriving in extraordinary circumstances. Their legacy is not proclaimed by grand monuments, but whispered through the very stone of their homes, their workplaces, their communal spaces. The concept of time itself feels different underground. Above ground, the rhythm of day and night, the changing seasons, provides a constant framework. Here, beneath the earth, time takes on a more abstract quality. The darkness is perpetual, the temperature constant. This unchanging environment lends a profound sense of continuity, blurring the lines between yesterday and 1,000 years ago. The echoes feel closer, more immediate, as if the past is not truly gone, but simply resting, waiting to be acknowledged. You realize that these forgotten echoes are not just historical curiosities. They are an integral part of the spirit of these underground communities. They provide a foundational layer, a deep root system of identity and belonging. For those who live here today, these ancient marks connect them directly to their predecessors, forging a continuous chain of human endeavor. They are a constant, silent affirmation of the possibility of life beneath the surface, a testament to the enduring human spirit that not only survived but flourished in the depths. In some places, you might encounter entire sections that have been deliberately preserved, perhaps as a silent museum or a revered ancestor's dwelling. Here, the echoes are less forgotten and more intentionally remembered. You walk through rooms where simple pottery shards might still lie, or where a grinding stone for grain remains in its original position, worn smooth by generations of use. These are not mere artifacts. They are the very tools of life, imbued with the echoes of labor, sustenance, and daily existence. The silence in these preserved areas is almost reverent. It is a space where the past is palpably present, where the barrier between your time and theirs feels thin, almost translucent. You can almost hear the soft rustle of ancient garments, the faint creak of a wooden door long since turned to dust, the quiet murmur of prayers or stories shared in the dim light. The atmosphere is one of profound respect, a recognition of the journey undertaken by those who first dared to call these depths home. Even in parts of the underground city that have been modernized, look closely at the bedrock walls that remain exposed. You will often find traces of the original excavation work, a different texture of the rock face, a subtle variation in the chisel marks. These are the palimpsests of history, where the modern has been built upon or beside the ancient. They serve as a constant reminder that this unique experiment in living is not new, but has a deep and intricate lineage stretching back through countless generations. These forgotten echoes also speak to the resilience of human memory and storytelling. Even when the physical marks are faint, the stories of the founding generations, the tales of challenges overcome and innovations achieved, are passed down. The stone, in a way, becomes a mnemonic device triggering these oral histories. The sight of an ancient water conduit carved into the rock face might prompt a story about a great drought, or a daring feat of engineering to bring water from miles away. You begin to understand that the term forgotten is perhaps a misnomer. These echoes are not truly forgotten by the earth, which holds them steadfastly. They are simply waiting for human eyes and hearts to rediscover them, to listen to their silent narratives. They invite you to slow down, to observe, to connect with a past that is not distant and abstract, but tangible and immediate, literally within reach. The sensation of being surrounded by these ancient marks is unique. It is a feeling of being embraced by history, not as a spectator, but as a participant in a continuous human drama. The chill of the stone, the deep quiet, the visible evidence of past lives, all conspire to create an experience that transcends mere sightseeing. It is a journey into the soul of human perseverance, a quiet contemplation of what it means to leave a lasting mark upon the world, even when that world is hidden beneath the surface. And as you continue your exploration, you carry these echoes with you. They become a part of your understanding of these underground realms, adding depth and resonance to every modern amenity, every bustling market, every tranquil living space. The contemporary life you witness here is not divorced from its past. It is built directly upon it, literally and figuratively. The forgotten echoes in the stone are the enduring heartbeat of these subterranean worlds, a constant rhythm connecting the distant past to the vibrant present, a testament to the timeless human impulse to create, to connect, and to call even the most unlikely of places home. You stand now, perhaps in a quiet corridor or a spacious living room carved from the earth, and as you breathe, you notice something subtle, yet profoundly important. It is the very air around you. Up above, the world battles with the relentless extremes of climate. Scorching summers that bake the landscape, and bitter winters that freeze the ground solid. But down here, within the comforting embrace of the rock, a different story unfolds. This is a story of engineered serenity, a testament to human ingenuity in coaxing comfort from the unyielding stone. The earth itself is a master insulator. Imagine a vast, natural blanket hundreds of feet thick, shielding you from the sun's scorching rays and the night's icy grip. This inherent thermal mass is the bedrock of underground climate control. It means that while the surface world might swing by 50 degrees Fahrenheit in a single day, the temperature down here remains remarkably stable, often hovering around the mid-60s or low 70s Fahrenheit year-round, depending on the specific geology and depth. This constant, gentle temperature is not just a pleasant surprise. It is a fundamental pillar of the underground lifestyle, especially when it comes to the quiet luxury of truly restorative sleep. Think about the conditions that typically disrupt your rest. The oppressive heat that makes your sheets cling, the bone-chilling cold that forces you to pile on blankets. These are largely absent here. Instead, you find yourself in an environment that is neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. This consistency means your body expends less energy regulating its own temperature, allowing for a deeper, more uninterrupted slumber. The earth cradles you not just physically but thermally. But mere insulation is only one part of the equation. A truly comfortable and healthy underground environment requires more than just a stable temperature. It demands fresh, circulating air. Without careful planning, these subterranean spaces could quickly become stale, humid, and unwelcoming. This is where the ingenuity of the engineers and the foresight of the planners truly shine. The earliest underground dwellings, simple caves or shallow dugouts, relied on basic principles. Strategic openings, perhaps a primary entrance and a smaller ventilation shaft, would create a natural draft, drawing stale air out and pulling fresher air in. Wind direction and pressure differentials were the unsung heroes of ancient air conditioning. You might observe how a cleverly placed shaft, angling upwards to catch prevailing breezes, would create a subtle but continuous exchange of air, preventing the buildup of stuffiness. As these underground communities grew more complex, so too did their ventilation systems. In places like Coober Pedy, Australia, where the surface temperatures can exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and dust storms are a regular occurrence, bringing in clean, cool air is paramount. Here you will find elaborate systems of whirlybirds, wind-driven ventilators atop tall shafts, that continuously draw air from above, often through filters to keep out the ever-present red dust. This passive system works in conjunction with internal air circulation, ensuring that every living space, no matter how deep, receives a constant supply of fresh, breathable air. Moving into more modern and extensive underground cities, the approach becomes even more sophisticated. You might walk through a cavernous public space and feel a gentle, almost imperceptible breeze. This is the result of meticulously designed mechanical ventilation systems. Giant fans, often located deep within the rock or discreetly placed on the surface, push and pull air through extensive duct networks. These systems are not merely moving air around, they are actively conditioning it. Imagine air being drawn in from the surface, passed through powerful filters that remove pollutants, allergens, and dust particles. Then it might be slightly warmed in winter or cooled in summer, not by fighting the Earth's natural temperature, but by subtly nudging it towards optimal comfort. This approach leverages the stable underground temperature, meaning far less energy is required than for a comparable surface building. This is sustainable living at its core. Humidity control is another critical aspect. Underground environments, especially those close to water tables or in regions with high natural humidity, can be prone to dampness. The engineers here understand this. You will find that many underground homes and public areas incorporate dehumidification systems, working silently in the background to maintain a healthy and comfortable moisture level. This prevents mold, protects structures, and ensures that the air you breathe feels crisp and clean, never clammy or heavy. The absence of that pervasive damp chill is a subtle yet significant contributor to the overall sense of well-being. Consider the air quality. On the surface, you contend with vehicle exhaust, industrial emissions, pollen, and a myriad of airborne irritants. Down here, protected by layers of rock, the air is often remarkably pure. The filtration systems are not just for dust. They act as lungs for the entire underground city, scrubbing the air clean. You might notice an absence of the subtle irritations you feel in many urban environments above ground, a feeling of lightness in your breath, a sense of quiet purity. This contributes profoundly to a feeling of health and vitality, making every breath a refreshing one. Now let us return to the central theme of sleep. You lie down in your subterranean bedroom. The steady temperature ensures you are never too hot, never too cold. The air is fresh and clean, circulating gently. But there is another factor that is perhaps even more potent for sleep quality: the profound silence. Above ground, even in the quietest suburban neighborhoods, there is a constant hum. Traffic, distant sirens, airplanes overhead, even the subtle vibrations of a bustling city. Down here, the earth acts as a magnificent sound absorber. Street noise simply does not penetrate. Ambient city sounds are muffled to an incredible degree. You are enveloped in a silence that is not oppressive, but deeply peaceful. It is the kind of quiet that allows your mind to truly unwind, to release the day's chatter, and to sink into a state of profound relaxation. Furthermore, the natural darkness of the underground environment plays a crucial role. Without the intrusion of artificial streetlights or the first sliver of dawn creeping through your windows, your body's natural circadian rhythm is allowed to flourish. Melatonin production, the hormone essential for sleep, is optimized. You experience a darkness that is truly complete, a natural cue for your body to fully embrace the night. This lack of light pollution, combined with the stable temperature and the quiet, creates an ideal sanctuary for restorative rest, a true sleep chamber built by the earth itself, refined by human ingenuity. The cumulative effect of these meticulously engineered conditions is not merely comfort, it is a profound sense of calm. You are insulated not just from the weather, but from the relentless sensory overload of the surface world. The constant temperature, the pure air, the deep quiet, and the profound darkness all work in concert to create an environment that actively promotes relaxation and deep, natural sleep. This is the hidden genius of these underground towns. They are not just places of shelter from harsh elements. They are deliberately designed environments for human well-being. Every shaft, every fan, every filter, every calculated temperature gradient, contributes to this overarching goal: to create a home where the very atmosphere fosters health, productivity, and a deep, undisturbed sense of peace. You are not simply surviving here, you are thriving, nurtured by the earth and the clever hands that have shaped it into a sanctuary. The engineering of sleep is perhaps the ultimate luxury provided by these remarkable subterranean worlds. It is an invitation to truly disconnect from the external chaos and find solace in the steady, unchanging heart of the earth itself. You close your eyes, enveloped in this perfect stillness, and drift into a sleep unlike any you have known above ground, a testament to the quiet power of a world built beneath your feet. You awaken from that profound sleep, refreshed and deeply still. There is no sunlight filtering through a window, no shifting shadows to tell you the hour. Above ground, the world might be awakening to a crisp dawn, or settling into the hushed quiet of midnight. Here, beneath the veil of solid rock, those distinctions blur, absorbed into a constant, controlled atmosphere. Your internal clock, attuned to the rhythms of your own body and the gentle consistency of this subterranean world, is your primary guide. The artificial lights that illuminate your living space are meticulously calibrated, designed to mimic the quality of natural daylight during what would be the waking hours above. Later they soften, dimming subtly to encourage rest. But the dramatic cycle of sunup and sundown, the dance of stars and moon, are absent. You live in an eternal, comfortable twilight, where the only darkness is that which you choose to create within your own room, or the vast, unlit caverns that lie beyond the town's engineered boundaries. This absence of a natural sky has a profound effect on your perception of time. Days do not unfold with the slow progression of light across a room. They are marked by routine, by the scheduled work shifts, the mealtimes in the community mess hall, the sounds of your neighbors beginning their day or winding down. It is a world where chronology is human-made, carefully structured to provide stability and a sense of progression. You might glance at a clock on the wall, not to confirm the external world's time, but to align with the internal rhythm of your underground society. Imagine stepping out into the main thoroughfare of your town after what you perceive as a full night's rest. The air is always clean, always tempered, without the bite of winter or the oppressive heat of summer. The thoroughfare hums with a low, constant energy. People move with purpose, their voices carrying clearly in the well-insulated environment. You might hear the distant clatter from a workshop, the gentle splash of water from a purification system, or the soft melody of music drifting from a communal recreation area. These sounds, consistent and predictable, become the subtle markers of your day. The concept of night here is less about the absence of light and more about the collective shift in activity. When the community winds down, the main passages grow quieter. The bustling marketplace might close its stalls, its bright lights dimming to a warmer, softer glow. Public spaces become less crowded. This is when the true quiet of the subterranean world settles in. You might choose to take a walk through the quieter districts, where only a few individuals are still out, perhaps lost in thought, or making their way home after a late shift. The silence here is unlike any you will experience above ground. It is not an empty, echoing silence, but a profound, embracing quiet. The earth above you acts as a colossal sound dampener, filtering out the roar of the wind, the patter of rain, the distant rumble of traffic, or the chirping of crickets. All the myriad noises of the surface world are utterly blocked. What remains is a curated soundscape, the gentle whir of machinery, the soft cadence of human voices, the controlled gurgle of water through pipes. This quiet fosters a deep sense of introspection. Without the constant barrage of external stimuli, your mind has space to wander, to reflect, to simply be. You might find yourself pausing, simply listening to the stillness. It is a stillness that feels ancient, primordial. It connects you not just to the present moment, but to the deep, unchanging heart of the earth itself. This is a peace that permeates everything, a constant background hum of tranquility. It allows your thoughts to unspool slowly, to become clearer, unhurried by the frantic pace of an illuminated, bustling world. The veil of night here is not a darkness that descends from the sky, but the solid mass of rock and soil that shields you. It is a protective barrier not just from the elements, but from the demands and anxieties of the world above. When you are beneath this veil, you are truly disconnected. The news from the surface might still reach you, relayed through carefully managed channels, but its immediate impact feels buffered, distant. You are in a sanctuary, a world apart. This detachment has a unique psychological effect. Some describe it as a profound sense of security, a feeling of being cradled by the earth. Others, particularly those new to underground living, might initially experience a subtle longing for the open sky, for the vastness of an unburdened horizon. But over time, for many, this longing transforms into an appreciation for the unique intimacy of their subterranean home. You learn to find beauty in the polished rock walls, the intricate patterns of the veins in the stone, the soft, even light, and the comforting predictability of your surroundings. Consider the simple act of looking up. Above ground, you might see clouds scudding across the sky, or stars twinkling in the inky blackness. Here you look up and see a meticulously engineered ceiling, perhaps adorned with artistic interpretations of celestial bodies, or simply clean, well-maintained rock. Yet, even without the natural sky, there is a sense of wonder. The sheer audacity of human ingenuity, carving out this vast dwelling place, is itself a source of quiet awe. You are living inside a testament to perseverance and vision. The social fabric of these underground towns also adapts to this unique temporal experience. Without the external cues of day and night, communities often develop a stronger reliance on shared rhythms and collective activities. There might be designated social hours, when people gather in central plazas, cafes, or recreational facilities. Evenings, in the traditional sense, might be fluid. Some residents may prefer to work late into the night, enjoying the added quiet, while others maintain a more conventional schedule, winding down after their evening meal. Children growing up in these environments possess a different understanding of the world. Their concept of outside is shaped by infrequent visits to the surface, or by vivid descriptions from adults. They learn about stars and rain from books and simulations, rather than direct experience. For them, the stable, contained world beneath the earth is the norm. The constant temperature, the filtered air, the dependable lighting, these are the natural conditions of their existence. Their dreams, one might imagine, are filled with the soft glows of their home, perhaps occasionally pierced by images of sunlight filtering through the distant surface access points. When you retire for your night, you do so without the intrusion of external world. No distant sirens will disturb your peace. No sudden storm will rattle your windows. The deep earth provides an unparalleled thermal mass, ensuring that your living space maintains an ideal, unchanging temperature. There is no need for heavy blankets in winter or powerful air conditioning in summer. This stable environment is not merely comfortable. It is conducive to deep, restorative rest. The veil of night and time is a metaphor for the profound separation these towns offer. It is a voluntary step away from the natural world's capriciousness, a conscious decision to create a haven of predictability and control. You trade the vast, often overwhelming openness of the surface for the comforting embrace of the earth. In doing so, you gain a unique perspective on existence. You become attuned to subtle shifts, to the internal mechanisms of your body and mind, rather than being dictated by the external world. The quiet, the constant temperature, the filtered air. These elements combine to create a sensory deprivation that paradoxically heightens other senses. You might find yourself noticing the subtle scent of food wafting from a communal kitchen, the unique texture of the rock walls, or the nuanced inflections in a neighbor's voice. Your world becomes one of controlled detail, where every element is carefully chosen and managed. This is not a life without light, but a life without the sun. It is not a life without time, but a life where time is measured by human endeavor, by the steady pulse of a thriving community, rather than the indifferent rotation of a planet. You are a part of a unique experiment in human habitation, living in a world sculpted from rock and sustained by ingenious technology. As you prepare for another cycle of rest and activity, you feel the gentle thrum of the ventilation system, a constant reminder of the life support that makes this entire world possible. You are beneath layers of earth, secure and profoundly at peace. The surface world, with its ever-changing skies and its relentless march of days and nights, continues its journey, utterly oblivious to the serene, self-contained universe that flourishes just meters beneath its bustling facade. You are shielded, cradled, and utterly present in this unique, enduring stillness. This quiet power is not just about survival. It is about redefining what it means to live, to thrive, and to experience the passage of time in an entirely new way, forever beneath the veil. You awaken to the familiar, gentle hum that is the heartbeat of this subterranean world, a subtle counterpoint to the distant echoes of daily life already stirring. Your morning routine is a rhythm honed by necessity and ingenuity, a testament to the thriving civilization you inhabit. But survival alone does not forge a culture. Commerce and faith, the twin pillars of human interaction, blossom here in unexpected ways, deep beneath the earth's indifferent surface. Imagine now stepping out of your dwelling. The polished rock underfoot is cool, smooth from countless footsteps. The air, conditioned and pure, carries a faint, intriguing medley of scents. You are not walking toward a sunlit piazza, but a cavernous, purpose-built market hall, a vast, open space carved with the same meticulous care as your own living quarters. As you approach, the muted murmur of voices grows into a soft symphony of exchange. This is the heart of daily life, the pulse of the community made manifest in goods and services. The space itself is breathtaking. Instead of natural light filtering through windows, the market is illuminated by an ingenious system of reflective surfaces and carefully positioned lamps, casting a warm, consistent glow that mimics the most perfect twilight. There are no harsh shadows here, only soft gradations that highlight the vibrant colors of the wares on display. You weave your way through the throng. The atmosphere is vibrant, yet distinctly different from any surface market you have ever known. The acoustics of the cavern amplify and soften sounds simultaneously. The chatter of sellers, the bartering of buyers, the occasional laughter or call of a child, all blend into a comforting, encompassing soundscape. There is an intimacy to these exchanges, perhaps born from the shared experience of dwelling in this unique world. Stalls line the wide thoroughfares, each a small universe of carefully curated items. You see textiles woven from fibers cultivated in the geothermal farms, their dyes rich and earthy, reflecting the minerals found in the deep. Artisans display intricate carvings from local stone, polished to a high sheen, depicting stylized scenes of subterranean life or the imagined wonders of the world above. There are foodstuffs too. Mushrooms of every conceivable shape and hue, grown in dedicated lightless chambers, robust root vegetables, and preserved meats and fish, traded from the surface or harvested from deep underground reservoirs. The air is thick with the aroma of freshly baked bread from a communal oven, mingling with the earthy scent of produce and the sharper tang of spices brought in through carefully guarded surface trade routes. You might stop at a stall where a vendor, perhaps an elderly woman with wise, knowing eyes, offers small, polished stones, said to bring good fortune or provide comfort in the stillness. Her voice is a low, melodious hum, perfectly suited to the gentle echo of the space. You might pause to admire a set of meticulously crafted tools, designed for both efficiency and aesthetics, their handles smooth and balanced in your hand. Or perhaps you are drawn to the vibrant display of crafted ornaments, each piece a miniature work of art, reflecting the creativity and resilience of this hidden civilization. There is no rush here, no sense of time ticking away under the dictates of a rising or setting sun. Transactions are unhurried, often accompanied by friendly conversation, sharing news of the community, or simply the quiet enjoyment of shared presence. This marketplace is more than just a place to acquire goods. It is a social hub, a vital artery of connection. Here, friendships are reaffirmed, stories are exchanged, and the collective spirit of the community is invigorated. Children play tag around the legs of adults, their laughter echoing playfully without ever becoming truly boisterous. News travels swiftly through these channels, from the success of a new mining expedition to the latest innovations in air purification. It is a testament to human adaptability, a vibrant economic and social engine thriving in conditions that once seemed impossible. Yet, beyond the bustling commerce, there exists a deeper realm, a space where the soul finds solace and connection to something beyond the tangible. As you move away from the marketplace, the sounds gradually recede, replaced by a growing quietude. You are drawn now to the temples, the spiritual centers of this underground world. Unlike the towering cathedrals of the surface, these places of worship are not designed to reach for the heavens. They are carved inward, embracing the earth, finding divinity within the very rock that cradles the community. The path to them might be a narrow, winding passage, gradually descending into an even deeper chamber. The air here is noticeably cooler, a profound stillness settling upon your senses. You step into a vast, hallowed space. The first thing you notice is the light, or rather, the deliberate manipulation of it. Instead of brilliant illumination, the temples are often lit by soft, flickering lamps, perhaps made of glowing fungal bioluminescence, or carefully shielded oil lamps. These sources cast long, dancing shadows on the carved rock walls, creating an atmosphere of profound reverence and mystery. The rough-hewn stone, sometimes smoothed to a gentle curve, sometimes left in its natural rugged state, seems to breathe with ancient wisdom. The architecture here is not about imposing height, but rather an embracing depth. Niches are carved into the walls, holding sacred symbols or offerings. Altars are often low and wide, fashioned from a single massive slab of polished stone. The natural echoes of the cavern are utilized to enhance the chanting or meditative sounds of worship, creating a resonating chamber that seems to amplify introspection. What do they worship here in the heart of the earth? Perhaps it is the earth itself, the enduring rock that protects and sustains them. Perhaps it is the ingenuity of their ancestors, those who first dared to burrow and build. Or perhaps it is a universal spirit, reimagined and recontextualized for a world without sun or stars, a deity understood through the metaphors of stability, darkness, and the constant, reliable flow of subterranean energies. You might see individuals in quiet contemplation, seated on low benches or directly on the cool stone floor, their faces illuminated by the gentle lamplight. There is a sense of deep peace, an almost palpable tranquility that permeates these sacred spaces. The absence of external distractions, the complete immersion in the physical embrace of the earth, fosters a unique spiritual experience. Without the vastness of the sky or the ever-changing cycles of day and night, worship might focus inward, on the inner cosmos, the depths of human spirit and community. Perhaps the rituals involve offerings of precious minerals found deep in the earth, or the fragrant herbs grown in hydroponic gardens. Music, when it occurs, is likely to be soft and resonant, perhaps played on stringed instruments that echo the vibrations of the rock, or wind instruments that mimic the gentle whisper of subterranean currents. The voices of those gathered in prayer or song would mingle and reverberate, becoming one with the very structure of the temple. These temples are not just places of worship. They are also centers of community reflection, learning, and remembrance. Scribes might meticulously record the history of their people on parchment made from processed fungal fibers, preserving the stories of their journey beneath the earth. Elders might share ancient tales, their voices carrying softly in the quiet air, reminding everyone of their shared heritage and purpose. The feeling of being within these sacred underground spaces is one of profound connection. You are not just present in a building. You are within the earth itself, surrounded by its ancient power and enduring silence. The air is still, almost heavy with history and devotion. It is a powerful reminder that human spirituality is not confined by external conditions, but rather adapts, transforms, and finds new expressions in every environment. As you slowly emerge from the temple, rejoining the slightly brighter and more active passages, you carry with you a sense of quiet reverence. The experience of these unseen marketplaces and temples solidifies your understanding of this subterranean civilization. It is not merely a place of survival but a vibrant, fully realized society, complete with the intricate threads of commerce, culture and faith, all thriving in the constant, unwavering embrace of the deep earth. You recognize the profound ingenuity, the unwavering spirit, and the deep interconnectedness that defines life here, far beneath the veil. The marketplace hums with the life of the present, while the temples stand as silent guardians of the past and hopeful beacons for the future, each carved into the very stone of existence. You have explored the commerce and the quiet reverence, the vibrant pulse and the ancient soul of this subterranean world. But as you navigate these tunnels, as your hand brushes against the cool, ancient rock face, a deeper understanding begins to settle upon you. It is not just the ingenuity of its builders, nor the resilience of its inhabitants, that defines this place. It is the very geology itself, the immense, unyielding mass of the earth above and around you, that serves as its ultimate protector, its silent, ever-present guardian. Consider for a moment the relentless pressures and unpredictable forces that shape life on the surface. Imagine the blistering sun that can scorch the earth for months on end, draining moisture from every living thing, turning fertile lands into parched dust bowls. Picture the fierce, unceasing winds that howl across open plains, tearing at structures, whipping sand and debris into blinding storms that strip paint from walls and life from plants. Envision the sudden violent downpours that can swell rivers to bursting, carving new paths through the landscape, or the bitter, biting cold of winter that freezes everything in its grasp, threatening survival with every falling snowflake. These are the daily dramas of the world above, an eternal dance between humanity and the unpredictable whims of nature. But here, beneath hundreds of feet of solid rock, you are entirely insulated from such caprices. The fierce sun cannot penetrate this far. Its heat is absorbed and dispersed long before it reaches these living spaces. The howling wind is utterly silenced, its fury spent against the impenetrable shield of the earth. The torrential rain and the driving snow become mere echoes in the far distance, their power utterly negated by the thick, stony blanket above. You exist in an environment of remarkable stability, a constant temperature that never wavers, a gentle humidity that keeps the air fresh, and a profound stillness that invites peace. This steady embrace of the earth is not simply a comfort. It is the very foundation of survival, a natural climate control system perfected over eons. You feel its gentle, unwavering presence with every breath, a silent promise of enduring calm. This geological guardianship extends far beyond mere climate control. In times of conflict, when surface cities would be vulnerable to siege, to invasion, to the devastating impact of war, these subterranean havens offered an unparalleled sanctuary. Imagine the strategic brilliance of a city that cannot be seen, that cannot be easily breached. There are no exposed walls to scale, no vulnerable gates to batter down, no clear lines of attack for an approaching army. The enemy would gaze upon an empty landscape, unaware of the vibrant life thriving just meters beneath their feet. The vast majority of these towns grew out of a primal need for security, a desperate desire for refuge from the dangers of the world above. Whether it was from marauding bands, rival empires, or oppressive regimes, the earth provided an impenetrable fortress, a final, unyielding line of defense. The very act of living underground became an act of defiance, a silent declaration of independence from external threats. You feel the weight of this protection, not as a crushing burden, but as a reassuring embrace. The immense tonnage of rock above you is not a source of claustrophobia, but rather a profound source of security. It is a shield of unimaginable strength, a barrier that has stood for millennia and will stand for millennia more. This sense of being sheltered, of being held firm within the earth's embrace, allows for a unique kind of peace to flourish. The usual anxieties that plague surface dwellers simply do not exist here. There is no watching the horizon for a coming storm, no dreading the sound of approaching footsteps. Instead, there is a steady rhythm of life, unmarred by the chaos of the outside world. The deep quiet that pervades these passages is another aspect of this geological guardianship. On the surface, the air is filled with a constant symphony of sounds. The rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, the distant rumble of thunder, the clamor of human activity. Here those sounds are utterly absent. What you hear instead is the subtle hum of your own existence, the soft whisper of air currents through the tunnels, the occasional drip of water, or the muffled, distant sounds of fellow inhabitants. This profound silence is not an emptiness. It is a canvas upon which the mind can truly rest. It is the sound of complete insulation, of being truly apart from the incessant noise of the world. This quietude contributes to a pervasive sense of calm, allowing thoughts to settle and worries to recede into the vast, silent depths around you. The very stone itself is a living part of their infrastructure. Unlike surface structures that are built from the ground up, fighting against gravity and the elements, these homes and communal spaces are carved into existence, working in harmony with the earth's inherent strength. The walls you touch are not artificial constructions. They are the ancient, enduring bedrock shaped and refined by human hands, but fundamentally rooted in the planet itself. This means an unparalleled resilience. Fires, while a concern, cannot spread with the same ferocity as they might in wooden or dry surface buildings. Earthquakes, while potentially disruptive, are often less damaging to well-engineered underground spaces that move with the earth, rather than standing rigidly against it. The slow, geological processes of erosion and decay that relentlessly attack surface buildings are greatly diminished here, ensuring that these underground cities can endure for far longer, a testament to the wisdom of their original design. As you stand within these ancient rock-hewn halls, you understand that the decision to live beneath the earth was not merely a choice of convenience, but a profound embrace of a different way of life. It was a conscious surrender to the earth's protection, a deep understanding of its enduring power to shelter and sustain. The geological guardians above and around you are not metaphorical. They are the literal, tangible bedrock that has cradled generations, shielding them from the harsh realities of the world and allowing a unique and resilient civilization to flourish in profound peace and security. You realize the ultimate luxury here is not opulence, but the constant, unwavering comfort of being held safe within the enduring heart of the planet itself. You are now not just safe, you are held. The constant, unwavering comfort of being cradled within the enduring heart of the planet itself begins to resonate not just with your body, but with your very mind. It is here, in this profound quiet, that a different kind of sanctuary opens up. This is not merely a refuge for the physical self. It is a final resting place for the restless mind. Imagine for a moment the world above. Picture its relentless assault on your senses. The jarring horns, the insistent chirping of devices, the ceaseless drone of traffic, the constant flicker of screens and the hurried scramble of passing faces. Life on the surface demands your attention, pulling it in 100 different directions, never truly allowing it to settle, to be still. It is a world of constant stimulation, a symphony of chaos that, over time, can fray the very edges of your internal peace. But here, deep beneath the surface, that cacophony simply ceases to exist. The earth itself acts as the most magnificent of sound buffers, absorbing and dissipating the noise of the world above. You become aware of a profound quiet that is unlike any silence you have ever known. It is not an empty quiet, not a vacuum. Instead, it is a rich, full silence, woven from the very fabric of ancient rock and time itself. It is a silence that breathes. In this deep quiet, your ears, accustomed to filtering out endless background noise, can finally relax. They begin to discern the subtle whispers of the underground world, the gentle drip of water far off in a forgotten cavern, the barely perceptible shift of air currents, the steady rhythmic beat of your own heart. These are not distractions. They are the natural rhythms of this deep, calm world, sounds that invite contemplation rather than demanding analysis. The visual landscape too undergoes a profound transformation. Gone are the shifting hues of the sky, the fleeting shadows, the distracting glare of artificial light. Here, illumination is deliberate, gentle, and often minimal. Perhaps the soft, steady glow of ancient oil lamps, or the faint shimmer of phosphorescent minerals on a cavern wall. Your eyes, freed from the endless stream of surface imagery, are invited to soften, to rest. The deep, pervasive darkness, far from being menacing, becomes a comforting blanket, allowing your internal vision to awaken. It is within this muted world of sound and light that your mind finds its true freedom. The constant visual and auditory inputs that typically drive your thoughts into a perpetual cycle of planning, reacting, and analyzing begin to recede. There is no urgency here, no immediate threat to register, no new information to process with frantic speed. The world outside, with all its demands, is held at bay by 1,000 feet of solid rock. This absence of external pressure creates a unique space for introspection. Your thoughts, no longer tethered to the surface world's urgent timelines, begin to slow. They stretch out, becoming longer, deeper, more expansive. You might find yourself drifting through memories long forgotten, or contemplating ideas with a clarity and focus that is rare in the waking world above. This is not the frantic activity of problem-solving. It is the quiet, unhurried work of a mind finding its natural rhythm, like a slow river carving its way through stone. The consistent, unchanging temperature of these subterranean spaces also plays a profound role in this mental liberation. Above ground, the world is a constant dance of extremes. The biting cold of winter, the oppressive heat of summer, the sudden chill of a passing cloud. Your body and mind are perpetually engaged in regulating themselves against these shifts, a subtle but constant drain on your energy. But here, deep within the earth, the temperature is steadfast, unwavering. It is a gentle, neutral embrace, requiring no effort, demanding no adjustment. Your body can simply be, and in that effortless state, your mind can finally release its grip, relaxing into a state of profound ease. Consider the feeling of being truly cradled. A baby in its mother's arms, secure, warm, protected from the harshness of the world. That is the essence of this subterranean existence for the mind. The earth itself becomes a vast, ancient parent, holding you gently, absorbing all the shocks and stresses that would otherwise reach you. You are insulated, buffered, swaddled in stone. This profound sense of security allows a deeply restorative process to begin. The anxieties that hum beneath the surface of daily life, the unspoken fears, the subtle tensions that accumulate like dust, all begin to dissolve. Without the constant reminder of an unpredictable external world, the mind can finally let go of its vigilance. It is an invitation to cease striving, to cease preparing, to simply exist in the present moment, fully protected. The very concept of time seems to alter here. Without the sun to mark the passage of day and night, without the changing seasons to delineate the year, time becomes a more fluid, less demanding construct. Hours might blend into one another, days into an unbroken continuum of quiet presence. This timelessness is not disorienting. Rather, it is liberating. It frees the mind from the tyranny of the clock, from the constant pressure to achieve, to perform, to meet deadlines. In this timeless haven, the mind is encouraged to simply be, to wander freely through its own inner landscapes without external interruption. You might find yourself entering a state akin to a waking dream, where the line between thought and sensation blurs. Ideas flow effortlessly, connections are made without conscious effort, and a deep sense of clarity can emerge from the stillness. It is the perfect environment for contemplation, for meditation, for the quiet unfolding of inner wisdom. The earth, in its silent steadfastness, becomes a partner in this process, offering a stable and unwavering foundation for your inner journey. This is the ultimate luxury of the underground world, beyond mere shelter or survival. It is the gift of profound mental rest. It is the deep, peaceful slumber of a mind that has found its final, secure resting place. The earth, in its infinite patience and protective embrace, offers more than just stone walls and sturdy roofs. It offers a soft cradle for the human spirit, a sanctuary where the constant chatter of the world fades, and the quiet wisdom of the self can finally be heard. You are not just observing history here, you are experiencing a state of being that ancient civilizations instinctively understood. They built their homes not only for safety from physical threats, but for a deeper, more profound sense of peace. They sought not just to survive, but to truly thrive, by creating an environment where the mind could finally rest, unfettered by the demands of the surface world. This profound quiet, this gentle darkness, this unwavering temperature, these are the lullabies of the earth. They sing to your weary mind, inviting it to release, to relax, to surrender to the deep, restorative power of true stillness. You feel your own thoughts slowing, your own internal monologue softening, until it too becomes part of the breathable silence. This is the heart of the earth offering its embrace, a vast, soft cradle, holding your mind in profound and enduring peace. It is the ultimate comfort, the quiet assurance that here, within these ancient, solid walls, you are truly at rest.